From the storm-lashed shores of the New World to the bustling ports of the Caribbean, whispers traveled on the salt-laced wind. They spoke of a terror on the high seas, a phantom in a black ship. His name? Captain Nathaniel Blackheart Bragg, a name whispered in fear, uttered in curses and sung in begrudging admiration. He was a force of nature, a pirate king who carved his name in blood and gold. This is his story. His exploits are the stuff of nightmares and hushed tavern tales. But beneath the legend lies a cunning strategist, a ruthless leader, and a man who understood the allure of power. The entry spoke of a raid on a Spanish galleon laden with gold, a battle fought beneath a blood-red sky. Prepare yourself, for the journey is fraught with peril, intrigue, and the echoing roar of cannons across the waves. Blackheart Bragg wasn't born under a pirate flag. He entered this world as Nathaniel, a butcher's son in a forgotten port in England. Life was harsh. The sea, ever present, offered an escape from the drudgery. He yearned for freedom, for a life beyond the stench of blood and offal. At the age of 12, he ran away. He found work as a cabin boy on a merchant ship. The work was grueling, but the boy was a fast learner. He was strong and quick-witted. He learned the ways of the sea. One fateful voyage, their ship was attacked. Pirates swarmed aboard, a ravenous tide of greed and steel. Most of the crew resisted. They were cut down. Nathaniel saw the futility of defiance. He surrendered. Life aboard the pirate ship was a brutal education. Nathaniel learned to fight, to navigate, to read the language of the wind and waves. The pirate captain, a man called Irontooth for his habit of chewing on metal spikes, saw potential in the boy. He took Nathaniel under his wing, teaching him the intricacies of naval warfare, the art of deception, and the intoxicating power of command. Years blurred into a maelstrom of raids and revelry. Nathaniel, hardened by the sea and tempered by violence, embraced his new life. He became a skilled swordsman, a cunning strategist, and a ruthless leader. He earned the respect of his crewmates, who whispered of his cold-blooded efficiency in battle. Then came the storm, a monstrous tempest that ripped Irontooth's ship apart. Nathaniel found himself clinging to wreckage, the screams of his crewmates swallowed by the howling wind. He was washed ashore on a deserted island, alone, but alive. For days he existed on shellfish and rainwater. Despair threatened to consume him, but Nathaniel had stared death in the face before. The storm had forged Nathaniel anew. It had stripped away his fear and left behind a core of cold, hard ambition. He christened his salvaged sloop Thee, a testament to the tempest that had birthed his new life. He assembled a crew of hardened cutthroats and cast off, their destination the rich shipping lanes along the American coast. Word of Blackheart's exploits spread like wildfire. His raids were audacious, his tactics unpredictable. He was a phantom appearing from the fog to plunder ships and vanish before the authorities could react. He targeted Spanish galleons laden with gold, English merchantmen carrying silks and spices, even daring to intercept Royal Navy vessels. To the common folk, he was a symbol of rebellion. Blackheart's reign of terror reached its zenith with the audacious capture of Charleston Harbor. Under the cover of darkness, his fleet of 3 ships, the and the, sailed into the harbor. They bypassed the fort's defenses, their hulls blackened and their sails reefed to blend with the night. By dawn, the harbor was his. Cannons roared, sending shockwaves through the city. Panic gripped the streets as Blackheart's men stormed ashore, claiming loot and prisoners. The governor, a portly man who fancied himself a military strategist, surrendered without a fight, offering Blackheart the city's treasury in exchange for a swift departure. Blackheart, ever the showman, accepted the governor's surrender. He then proceeded to host a lavish feast in the governor's mansion, inviting himself and his crew as guests of honor. For 3 days and nights, Blackheart and his men feasted, drank, and made merry, holding the city hostage. Then, as quickly as he had arrived, Blackheart disappeared back into the mist, leaving behind a bewildered city and a legend that would echo through the ages. The raid on Charleston cemented Blackheart's legend. But even legends are mortal. Blackheart's reign couldn't last forever. His success had made him a target. The Royal Navy, humiliated by their defeat at Charleston, assembled a task force dedicated to hunting him down. They were relentless, scouring every cove and inlet, following every rumor and whisper. The final confrontation came on a day choked by fog. Blackheart's fleet was anchored near a hidden cove when the fog parted, revealing a squadron of British warships bearing down on them. This was no chance encounter. This was a trap. Outnumbered and outgunned, Blackheart's fleet fought like cornered wolves. Cannons thundered, tearing into wood and flesh. The sea ran red with blood. Blackheart, wielding his cutlass with deadly grace, fought like a demon unleashed. But it was a losing battle. Blackheart Bragg is gone, swallowed by history and the unforgiving sea. But his legend endures. From the windswept dunes of the Outer Banks to the bustling ports of the Caribbean, his name still holds power. Some curse him as a villain, a ruthless pirate who preyed on the innocent. Others celebrate him as a folk hero, a symbol of resistance against tyranny. I've scoured archives, charted nautical